So yes, this morning, weight loss, health, fitness, are they all the same thing? And I would argue no, they're actually very different things, and depending on the meal plan you're doing or the diet you're doing, there are particular achievements or goals that you want to get. And quite often what I see is that people mix up the differences. That for some, if you want to specifically lose weight, then getting fit isn't necessarily the quickest way of doing it. And in fact, anyone will tell you is that muscle is much heavier and much denser than fat anyway. And so quite often as you get fitter, even though your shape will change and your tone will get better, what will also happen is you'll probably actually gain physical weight. And so you can actually have two people that are technically the same weight, but will be one will look maybe a little overweight and the other one could look toned. And this is because quite literally the fat is, I think it's something like 3 times more areolar. In other words, it's actually less dense than muscle is. So when we're talking about weight loss, what do we actually even mean by that? Or does the person that's wanting to lose weight, is it actually to do with their shape and how they feel about themselves? And so this is really quite important when we're thinking about diets, is the reason why we're doing it and what is the actual end goal. Because what we find is that you can be extremely fit or muscly, but actually you'd actually be very heavy in terms of if you stood on the scales. So quite often this whole idea of weight loss can lead you up the garden path. So the first question I would ask is, okay, well, if you're wanting to actually just physically lose weight, it is because you don't feel comfortable in yourself. What is the reason you feel you need to lose weight? And the chances are it's something on the lines of not feeling great about yourself, or say your clothes don't fit quite so well. And so you then have fitness. Now, what do we even mean by fitness? Are we talking about our ability for our heart to work better? Do we want to run faster? Do we want to run further? The types of fitness regime will very much depend on what you actually want from your body. And then we have health. Again, they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. Quite often these people that are, say, Olympic athletes, they're not necessarily that healthy from a normal point of view. You have to remember that athletes have an end goal, and that is quite often it's their job. So they're working their body in extremis, and you find that their meal plan will be very, very, very much different. Quite often it's very heavily protein weighted, but then within competition they then load up with carbs. This is not particularly a balanced diet at all, and this is where we have to be again clear in what is the reasoning we are doing either the meal plan or the diet plan we are doing. What is its function and what is your end goal? If you're the average body in the street, like you or me, is that the chances are we're either at a computer or we are standing up doing a particular job, working in whatever manner we're doing, and the requirements for our body are very different than what we're being told we should be like. And our body is an efficiency engine. It doesn't waste energy. It doesn't waste anything, in fact. And this is where we have to match what we're eating to what we're doing in our daily lives. If we have a very active role, say like as a builder, then we are using up that energy, and you'll find that a lot of chaps, or ladies or gents that work within the building industry, they'll be quite wiry and not necessarily muscly, but very wiry and very strong, and they will need to actually feed that that energy continuously to do the job they do. However, if that same person then suddenly stopped and worked in the office doing the paperwork for a while, and they carried on eating in the same way, all that would simply happen is they would start to put on more fat. Is that actually the body's actually been used or trained to attributing X amount of calories to do that particular job, and as soon as they stop doing that, then obviously you're just simply the body's going to start saving that and putting that on as fat. So the big question is fit for what? What are we doing and for what reason?